So without any further ado, let's start with the program. And we will start with Alexander Inglessi, who is a product consultant at the German Machine Tool Builders Association. He will guide us into Umati and how it is revolutionizing interoperability on the shop floor through standardized interfaces, a super important topic. And I'm super excited to have him here. Alexander, stage is yours, please.
1, 2.
Morning.
1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, my name is Alexander, and I would like to tell you a little bit about Umati. And to set the stage first, I want to show you a little video. Please have a look.
This is John. John's a plant manager. He wants to make his production more efficient. For this, he needs an overview of the data from his machines. John is not happy. He has various machines of different ages from different manufacturers and with different controllers. But it's not possible simply to connect them to his existing IT system. He needs to have interfaces programmed individually. That costs a lot of time and money. Moreover, some data is not even being recorded at present. What would make John happy is the possibility to connect any machine or component to his IT ecosystem quickly, simply, and without additional effort. And John is not alone. Many others share the same problem. To improve this situation and make things easier for their customers, machine manufacturers from all over the world have joined forces. Together, they have developed interfaces based on OPC UA, the global production language. About 20 companion specifications for production equipment have already been published, including harmonized specifications such as OPC UA for machinery. 30 more are under development. As a consequence, customers who use a range of different machines and technologies have to deal with different companion specifications. To make things easier, the implementation of these specifications needs to be harmonized. What's needed is a strong community which can exchange best practices, build trust, enable dialogue, and share information. Umati. Umati makes it all possible. Plug and play, no matter which manufacturer, no matter which machine. And so John can now finally connect all his machines to his IT system, easily, securely, and seamlessly. It's now easy for John to use and analyze all the data, gaining access to important information such as machine status, errors, and key performance indicators. Increases the efficiency of his production significantly, saving him time and money. And because Umati is a global initiative that is still developing, it is guaranteed to keep pace with requirements as they evolve. John is excited. He's ready for the future. Umati, a community of strong partners connecting the world of machinery. Stay tuned and get connected online.
Yeah, so thank you for your attention. And you got the gist of it, and I will tell you a little bit more in the detail. So the current situation in manufacturing is somewhat not optimal. Like it was described in the video, we have different machines speaking different languages, and basically that makes the machines harder to understand each other, and also it makes life difficult for the manufacturers of the IT systems. The solution then would be to come up with a common language, and one option is the standardization based on the OPC UA. And Umati is there to help to disseminate and to promote the community support, as well as increase the market penetration. We believe that there are 3 elements to success in that. First of all, it's the OPC UA as a standardization framework. The second is the global language of production, which is a set of the extension of the standard specific to the different machine building industries. And third is Umati as a global initiative to promote this standardization and the open standards. What is OPC-UA itself? It's a technology which basically tells machines how to communicate, making sure that the machines speak the same language. The companion specifications, the extensions of the standard, they define the contents, which tells machines what exactly to communicate, or in other words, making sure the machines use the same dictionary. And these two things together ensures that we obtain the semantic interoperability, meaning that the machines understand each other. This whole idea is called the global language of production by our colleagues at VDMA Association. There are lots of standards for different branches, for different types of machines. Here you can see the list. It's over 50 standards in total. Some of them are in development, some of them are already released, but they are also being continuously updated. But it's not enough just to have a standard. A standard has to be adopted, well known, and used worldwide. And as you can see, from the point of view of a layman, it's hard to explain all those various standards to the people, and this is part of our mission. Can there be certain blueprints for successful implementation of technology or the standard? One example can be the USB stick. The USB port, we all know it, all computers have it. It's weird if the computer doesn't have it. And even though behind this technology there is a complicated machinery of different profiles and so on, it is easy to use for an end user. You basically plug in a device, be it a printer, a keyboard, or a mouse, and the system knows exactly what is plugged in and makes it work. Another component of this is the label, the promise that the machine works with certain software, for example, like in the case of Intel Insights sticker, which serves as a quality seal. And with Umati, we can, or we are trying to achieve both of this. So how OPC-UA can become the USB of the machine building industries by creating the acceptance and increasing the market penetration. And how can we use it as a label, as a quality seal for machines by unifying the implementation of the standard and providing testing and probably even certification. So the solution, to reiterate, we have this two components which are leading to the interoperability, and now there is the third one, which is Umati. And what is Umati? Umati aims for a few things. First, like I said, enabling global acceptance by creating the global community of users and manufacturers. Second is achieving plug-and-play capabilities, basically. This can be done by unifying the implementations and making sure that they're identical throughout different branches. Increasing visibility, we have to make sure that the brand is well known and recognized. That can be done via joint marketing and creating sort of a credibility of the whole approach. This can be done by creating, for example, a demonstration, a live applications which everybody can use and test by themselves. What is happening these days? So, like I said, the OPC-UA world is not static. It's constantly evolving. There are always some new developments. For example, one of them is the harmonization process, which is conducted by our colleagues at VDMA. Basically what it means is that we have different types of machines and they all share same properties, and it makes perfect sense to unify it in a common standard, which is valid for different companion specifications. And this is what harmonization is trying to achieve. And as you can imagine, since every individual companion specification is in development, it's constantly evolving, also the harmonization has to follow this way. There are several, the several parts of this specification which are already published. There are some which are relatively new, for example, job management, and I will talk about it a little later. There are some which are planned and which are, there is a huge demand for this. For example, the energy management is, of course, the hot topic. The job management is based on two things. It's the first of is the mechanism of the exchange of information about jobs. It's based on the OPC-UA for ISA 95 Part 4. It defines the model, and then the OPC 4001-3 defines the information that has to be exchanged. So there is a job order, it goes to the machine is sharing the status of this order, and once the order is complete, you get the job result, and you can start all over again. That's basically the idea. Another new development is the specification for cutting tool manufacturing, which gives you the benefit of the data exchange between the tool manufacturing and tool measurement machines, and of course with the higher level IT systems. So this is the standard 4504-1 UA for cutting tools. And the release candidate for this standard will be out soon, I guess in a few days. And if you follow this link, you can get more information about it. So coming back to the solutions, the common marketing and dissemination, the global community, and the implementation of the open standards. What is happening there? What we are trying to do is we want to explain what OPC-UA is for regular people without going too deep into the technical details. Basically talking about the business solutions, about the benefits of it. And by creating a global community, we want to increase the global acceptance of the standard. And that involves things like webinars, like hackathons, and general, getting together of the manufacturers and users of OPC-UA. So a little bit more about Umati. The basic idea behind Umati is putting together the manufacturers and users of machine tools. And by exchanging the best practices, by sharing the lessons that were learned along the way, and also getting the feedback from the users, giving back this feedback to the manufacturers, and in the end, ensuring that the implementation of the standard is identical. We bring builders and users together. We have a huge network of partners. We have over 350 partners worldwide, both in Germany and also all over the world. Those partners include, of course, the manufacturers, the association, as well as the research organizations. Currently, Umati is involved with many different industries. You can see the list over here. I'm not going to read them all. I probably have to stress that the list is constantly increasing. So, for example, recently, the integration started for cutting tools, like I said before, as well as mining, laser systems. So it's a very dynamic area. We, to make Umati and the OPC-UA easier to understand, we have prepared a little booklet, which you can get, for example, on our stand and whole 9, or you can download it online, which basically describes what benefits you get by using Umati depending on your role in the company. If you're a salesman or a purchasing manager, if you're an owner of a machine shop, we have this basically table which is where the benefits of Umati are visualized. And that brings me to the implementation. So we have standards. Those standards have to be used. So one of the goals of Umati is to make using these standards as easy as possible. So like I said before, we have to make sure that different companion specs can work together, bringing together different industries. We have to learn together with the companies on how to implement the standards. And yeah, that's basically the idea. What we do as well, and what is probably important for the trade shows, is that we provide the infrastructure for testing, for connection and testing of the machines. And we create this data flow for the trade shows. And this setup is open, it's common for everybody, and it's aimed to demonstrate the connectivity and to show that it can be achieved in basically any environment, including the environment of the trade show. So that's the key parts of this is the infrastructure, the dashboard app, which I will talk about a little later, the secure connection, the templates for different machines, and the common marketing. How does the demonstration work? For example, on the several machines on this trade show, we have the stickers, the Umati stickers. Each sticker has a QR code. One can scan this code on their device, a phone or a tablet, and get the real-time data from this machine. That is super simple and also quite impressive. You can see it for yourself. You can scan this QR code and open the page. There you can select the grinding hub and see all the machines which are up there. So to iterate my talk, 3 elements which are important from our point of view: the standardization network based on OPC-UA, the extension of standardization, the companion specification, the global language of production, and finally, Umati, an initiative to promote these things. So yeah, thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Alex, very much for the excellent presentation. It was super interesting to see it again from a different perspective. I do actually have some questions, if I'm allowed to ask. So one question that came to my mind is, if I understood it correctly, OPC-UA was started by VDMA, is that correct?
VDMA and VDW.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So then you started the Umati initiative. How difficult is it to give it a start? Because remember, we had MP3, we had VHS in totally different industries, but that was quite difficult to be implemented. What was the start from the idea to convince the first participants in the industry?
Yeah, that's indeed the hard part. And as we all know, there were different standards out there, and not all of them really worked in the end. And the thing is that the standard doesn't have to be perfect, right? Yeah. So it's all about, like you said, acceptance. And basically, that's what we are trying to do. I can't say that it's working perfectly, not at all, but it never works perfectly with any standard. But we definitely see a huge interest, and this interest is increasing basically with every trade show that we are visiting.
I can imagine it's not really a local thing. It's more a global thing, right? Because I mean, if you want to make use of it, all of the companies presenting here at the Grinding Hub, they are selling their machines worldwide, and
Yeah.
this is not the only industry you are tackling because Umati wants to set a standard for all the machines in the production. So, how? What are your main contact partners then in other countries? Are it first the associations on site? Those are the first ones. How is these um, cooperation going on? What is the work together?
Yeah, well, for example, in VDW, we
Yeah.
have a local office in China. We have points pretty much worldwide, and that helps a lot with.
Yeah, I can imagine. So imagine you are an association in the US, for example, yeah, and once in a day you get a phone call from Alexander. Here's Alexander. We are starting the Umati initiative. You want to join? Probably they have started already their own standardization process in the US, for example. So that's was for the start. So uh, if there's a beginning, I mean, you need to do it globally, otherwise it won't be a standard at all. So how is the acceptance, like for example, in the US or in Asia for Umati?
Yeah, I think the challenge is probably to convince people that the global standard is needed and
Yeah.
then it's beneficial. Because sometimes it's not obvious. Sometimes companies want to stick with their own solutions, of course. But we believe that we managed to convince ourselves. We are trying to convince everybody else. And it's slowly getting traction in my point of view. So, for example, there are local standards like MT Connect in America, for example, or NC-Link in China, and there are movements to somehow unify those
Yeah.
with OPC UA. And I think this is a great, initiative, really, which in the end will benefit all of us.
Then a more technical question, because at the very beginning you explained the, let's say, the dictionary of the machine languages they're speaking together, and I can imagine there are like quite a lot of languages that have been that are being spoken all over the world with the machines. So let's transfer this to like a comparison about how many, let's say, words or phrases are we talking if we're talking about this dictionary, because we are talking about thousands of machines, thousands of machine manufacturer. Is there like a minimum amount of remote, how do you say that, befehl, orders to the machines that you need to translate? Is there like a minimum amount that you are going for, or?
Yes, basically, the dictionary, like you said, it's huge because, of course, machine can provide a lot of data, but not all of this data is really needed. And basically, you have some obligatory parameters which have to be there. It's not that much, and it's easy to provide them usually. But if you want to go deep into the details, your possibilities are pretty
Yeah.
much endless. Yeah.
So, and how long will it take? What is your assumption on when will we have the standard? Is it
Ooh.
like a life task for you and Götz, or is it something you are thinking it can be achieved in the next, let's say, couple of months or couple of years? What is the time frame you had?
It's really hard to tell. I mean, I personally would be happy if we have, this feeling that okay, it's there to stay in a few years.
That would be great. Okay, so let's assume we have a few years to go, and then we will have it. Last question, or not the last question? Let's see. Is like how do companies get to know about Amati? I mean, you are on trade shows, you try to present it.
Yeah.
Is there like word of mouth between companies that are saying, hey, listen, Umati is a new standard, do you want to join us? So is Anchor, for example, talking to another company here on the fair, talking about Umati? How's that growing? What is your marketing?
Yeah, it's both. Of course, it's the trade shows like this. It helps a lot. We have a lot of people coming who have no idea at first what it is. Then we explain this, and hopefully we convince them to join. But like you said, also it's a word of mouth. A lot of companies, they put the Umati stickers on their machines, and of course the others are interested. What's that?
So the Umati sticker is the new Intel Inside sticker, as far as understood, right?
Yeah.
So I've checked the app and it's quite impressive. You can see, let's say the basic information. So what is so the standard range of information you can provide right away if somebody is introducing a machine. So it's on and off, I guess. Machine
Yeah.
is running. What else?
The status of the machine, it's some basic settings. The dashboard is quite simple because we don't want to overwhelm users with information. But it shows some basic stuff. And it's quite effective. You turn the knob and you immediately see the change of the value in the app. Yeah, basically.
Is there a hardware solution needed to implement the interface?
A hardware.
Yeah, like I need like the USB stick. Basically, I mean, we had the standardization for the USB stick. So once the USB stick is inserted, yeah, the machine is acknowledging it's a USB stick or it's a mouse or a keyboard. Is there any kind of hardware going along with Umati to make the data available, or is that something that the machine provider needs to have anyway? So it's more computer, and then Umati can translate it.
Yeah, basically the protocol is agnostic. It just requires a network,
Yeah.
a local or global in that case. As for the OPC server, you can run it on various types of hardware, and it doesn't have to be a super performant computer. So basically you can run it on a Raspberry Pi. A small system like that, which is energy efficient and very quick to set up.
So I promise my last question, but you see, it's quite an important topic. I'm doing a lot in shop floor management, and I see a lot of initiatives towards lean management, especially in the medium-sized companies, at least here in Germany, which is basically quite an old topic, but it's more and more getting fashion right now. And with shop floor management, you need the current data in order to see is there anything going wrong in the production. So is there a way Umati is going as well? Like see what are current, let's say, process optimization trends, and can we get in touch to each other with these trends in order to push Umati a little bit more? Because I think about shop floor management or predictive maintenance. For all these initiatives, you need an interface standard, basically.
Absolutely, yeah. And as a matter of fact, we've been showcasing for example, the app, which is the tool lifecycle management, which is very handy. A lot of people are actually interested in this. It basically follows the tool as it goes from one machine to another, and it records its state, how many hours it's been working, and so on. It can be used in the things that you described. And part of this solution is Umati technology. So yeah, it's definitely very popular and it has a huge demand.
Very good. Alexander, it was a pleasure to have you on stage. Good luck with Umati. I will follow up what is going on with Umati. Thanks a lot for your presentation. See you around, okay?
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, Alexander.
See you.